start, I would like to say that on the one hand, but on the other hand, in the final analysis, we shall find the answer at the polls or even the Dutchman's.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The challenge facing the United States is that we have to be right one time. I mean, 100% of the time. It's hard for me to explain why that was the case. Just take my word for it. In my State of the Union, or my speech to the nation, whatever you want to call it. I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully. We got an issue in America. Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country. And America needs a military where our best and brightest are proud to serve. And you're working hard to put food on your family. Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, we can't get fooled again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Members of the White House Correspondents Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, here I am. Tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words? Tribal sovereignty means that. It's sovereign. You've been given sovereignty and you're viewed as a sovereign entity. Okay. And therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
I think we ought to raise the age at which juveniles can have a gun.
No question that the enemy has tried to spread sectarian violence.
In order for us to get the framework, the groundwork to discuss a framework for peace, to lay the... All right.
But here's a rational way to make sure that we treat people with dignity. We need an energy bill that encourages consumption.
Can you name the president of Chechnya?
No, can you? General, I can't name the general.
And it's?
General.
Prime Minister of India?
The new Prime Minister of India is, no.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
And in recent weeks, Americans have seen those emotions on display. On the streets of major cities, Africa is a nation that suffers from incredible disease.
The United States of America is engaged in a war against a extremist group of folks.
Do they still have more time to respond?
I thought you were asking about the pig. Where wings take dream. They want us to leave. That's what they want us to do. And I think the world would be better off if we did leave. If we left, the world would be worse. I think war is a dangerous place. Teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. Let me just remind you where we have been through, what we've been through. If you don't stand for anything, you don't stand for anything. If you don't stand for something, you don't stand for anything. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you. It'll take time to restore chaos. We have got to harness the power of clean coal. I made my position clear about this war on terror. And by the way, the enemy made their position clear yet again when
when we were able to stop him. The left hand now knows what the right hand is doing. He can't take the high horse and then claim the low road. In my state of the union, or my speech to the nation, it was not always a given that the United States and America would have a close relationship. History's worst tyrants. And in so doing, we not only freed the American people, we made our own people more secure. Are you having burritos for lunch? Not one doubt in my mind that we will fail. I haven't been counting them because I've run out of fingers on my hand. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive. I hear there's rumors on the internets, and it is a. I think it is. And it's a. Look, there's time for politics, and you know, it's time for politics, and it's an absurd insinuation. There's a West Texas girl, just like me. We'll continue to enhance protection at our borders and coastlines and airports and bridges and nuclear power plants. They underestimated the compassion of our country. I think they underestimated the will and determination of the Commander-in-Chief, too. Administrator Karen Tandy of the Drug Administration. I played Cannon.
Mr. President, can you... 2 years ago...
No, you're not Cannon. That Cannon. You're Ken.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, Cannon.
2 years ago, the mayor of my... Gavin Newsom, the mayor of my hometown...
You're Ken. Sorry. You thought I said Cannon. I thank you all and the citizens of this community for this...
And the party of a great man who should have been president and who would have been one of the greatest presidents in history, Hubert Horatio Hornblower.
But in World War II, I mean, we all lived in this century. I didn't live in this century, but in this century's history. And it is a point of history that this nation, our nation, understands. We did not have, matter of fact, we fought Hitlerism.
There is nothing that a good defense cannot beat a better offense. What a waste it is to lose one's mind or not to have a mind is being very wasteful.
We understand the importance of having the bondage between the parent and the child.
As America celebrates the 20th anniversary of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Lukin.
Millions of innocent people lost their lives because of the bigotry and Hitlerism that permeated Germany and other parts of the world. It was an obscene period in our nation's history.
This is where the Continental Congress met over 200 years ago during the American Revolution. So Lancaster was actually the capital of our nation for one day in 1977. The question is whether we're going to go forward to tomorrow or we're going to go past to the back.
The ignorant mind is too often a fresh face. The ignorant mind is too often
Young mind is too often something you can lose.
I said to him, you know, there's another one that the nitty-shitty great bird.
I hope I stand for anti-bigotry, anti-Semitism,
Up and down against that warm pipe and have baby. And I'm tired of being embarrassed. And I'm proud to have been his partner. And we've had triumphs. We've made some mistakes. We've had some sex. Up and down against that warm pipe and have baby.
Careful, chicken, fecal, coliform bacteria.
We're trying to get unemployment to go up, and I think we're going to succeed.
Let me say that name again. What?
And I defy anyone to say that and chew gum at the same time.
I'm Gerald Ford, and you're not.
The year 1881 will come. Another president of the United States will be standing here, perhaps with this podium or an improvement, and we will be at peace with all nations in the world long before 1881. When the year comes, the year 1881, I confidently hope in 1981,
is the promise to, what is that second promise?
Every once in a while, you'll see something like this happen because he is really barreling.
You want a job in the White House?
President Putin of Germany
in Iraq for 50 years.
Maybe 100. I will veto every single bill.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
All right, gentlemen, this is an easy one. We've got 4 lines. First line is for you, Bill. Second line is for you, George. I've written your lines down on a piece of paper. I'll put it up for you right here. Okay, let's give it a try, guys. Action!
We Americans are always at our best when we hear and heed the cries of others.
That's your cue, George. When he finishes his first line, you say your line, okay? It's pretty easy. Okay, let's give it a try. So first Bill, then George, okay? Action.
We Americans are always at our best
massive
when
human
we
suffering.
hear and heed
Americans have always stepped up and
George!
answered the call
George!
to help.
Let him finish first, then you say your line, okay?
But there's never been anything on a
Today,
scale of
President
human
Clinton
tragedy
and
in our own
I are
hemisphere,
joining together
like
to
what we
appeal
now
to you with
witness
real
in the
urgency.
Jesus Christ. You let him finish first, okay? Let him finish, then you say your line, okay? Action.
We Americans are always at our best when we hear and heed the cries of others.
When confronted with massive human suffering, Americans have always stepped up and answered the call to help.
Oh my God. Who put the fucking monkey up there?
It was you, George, wasn't it?